Good morning. Check it out. 3 ways. Yeah, 3 ways. My buddy and I was talking last night, and we're having a couple beers. But yeah, he mentioned got in a little 3-way with him and his girl. Now, I have my thoughts on that. I have my very strict thoughts. You got to be incredibly secure with you and your girl. Now, when I say 3 ways, most of the time I'm talking 2 girls and a guy. That's what I'm talking about. And it usually turns out to be a disaster. It's usually a disaster because usually the guy could be, especially my friend, did the ultimate no, which means didn't pay enough attention to his own girl. He didn't pay enough attention. So she starts to get irritated because he's paying all the attention to the new girl. Now, of course, right? Because for one, you got this new girl in the room there, and I think he doesn't want her to be bored, but also he's excited about the new girl. Let's be honest. And it's the other way around, guys. It's the other way around. You got to pay attention to your girl, all your girl. Basically, you got to let your girl lead the dance. Now, if she's not leading the dance, then there's a problem because you leading the dance is going to end up in an argument, which that's where this conversation's going, because it goes the day after the drunken fest of picked up a girl at the bar and had a little 3-way and paid zero attention to your own girl. That is a no. You pay all the attention to your girl. Listen to my voice. I'm telling you. So it's like you start ignoring your girl, she'll start getting frustrated, and you can start to tell that there's the wind is out of her sails a little bit, but she's still going to continue. And you guys finish the act, you do it, and now you're stuck with the awkwardness of the new girl that you brought home. You either want her out, you want her out immediately, or she stays the night and you wake up in the morning and your girl is really pissed because you did it wrong. You did it wrong. Basically, guys, in a 3-way, if you say if it's your first time picking up a girl at the bar and you did it wrong, now you got this stranger in your house and you got your girl's pissed off at you, and that's going to be hard to get that one back. It's going to be hard to get it back. She's going to lose a little trust. She's like, damn, you got so excited about this new girl. You got so excited. So it's like, you gotta move along. But I'm telling you, straight up, the trick is, this is what I told my buddy. I go, you fucked up. He's like, why? I go, here's what you fucked up. Yeah, it's not about the new girl at all. You got to look at it like she's just a toy. She's a toy. You're not paying attention. You don't care about her pleasure that much. You care about your girl's. Everything that girl is there for is basically for a toy. So she's for your girl. She's not for you. Now, there's definitely a lot of girls that are into watching their guy with another girl. That is a fact. But even that, I think all that stuff backfires. I really believe that. I've had a few of these in my past, and they're most of them were awkward at best. Some of it was good, some of it was fun, but then at the end it becomes very awkward. So it's definitely I had a weird session with 2 strangers, actually. They were friends, but I just met them. And though they started arguing, not necessarily over me, but just arguing in the middle of this thing. Like they were having kind of a fight, a jealousy fight over God knows what, right in front of me. Just killed the whole thing. Like I wanted out. I wanted out. I was like, I got to get out of here. And then there's been some where you try with your girlfriend, and I didn't know that lesson. Pay attention to your girlfriend, because the new girl is just a toy. So if I give any of you guys advice, and you gals, keep everything within the couple. The new person is merely a toy. That's it. So a lot of times, because the guy and like you, if I'm speaking as you as the guy, and the girl is your girlfriend, a lot of times you guys are trying to be cool about it, and you're trying to be, look, I'm not jealous, or I'm not this, I'm not that. A lot of times you are, and there's some underlining situations going on in there. Especially if you're having trouble in that relationship, a three-way is not going to get you out of that trouble, especially not out of that distrust. Now, there's definitely a whole world of swingers, right? There's a whole world of swingers, and they call it being in the lifestyle. And I don't know if this is at least here in California. I don't know much about it. I'm not. I don't have my ear to the ground when it comes to swingers. It's not really my bag. But it's interesting, though, isn't it? I mean, it's very interesting, and there's rules to these things. There's rules to being a swinger. You know, especially like there's always, you know, you're getting together in these parties, or you're getting together with these couples, and you guys go out for dinner and drinks, and you make it a whole night, so you get to know each other well. But man, in my eyes, now I'm not a jealous guy at all, but in my eyes, boy, that would be weird to see someone else with my girl. You know what I mean? Just look, like, especially in front of me. Boy, that would be weird. But people are into it, man. And I know guys that are into, they want to watch their girl with another guy. Now, I don't know if they like it all the time. Maybe sometimes that's just a fantasy or something, but sure as fuck ain't my fantasy. That's the last thing I want to see. But it's interesting, though, the swinger lifestyle. And if you think about it, what's the big fucking deal? I mean, really, what is really the big deal? It's I mean, if it's just sex, really, it's just sex. It's human nature. It's what people do. And because, I mean, definitely in some cultures, there is sex means something different to the relationship. And then some people and cultures go, look, it's just sex. It's just pleasure. We're just having fun. Our relationship is our relationship. You can't replace that. But sex is not a big deal. You know, and there's some that even say sex is just what we do. Our sex is different than what we do with other couples. You know, I guess I do. I was going to say I don't understand it, but I understand it. I think that's not my bag, you know? And I think that goes the same with if like you're dating a porn star, you're dating somebody in the adult industry. I don't think it's the same as like dating a stripper or anything, but you know, if you're dating someone that's a adult film star, you definitely got to get over that, right? You definitely got to get over it. But I think it's interesting. Like, really think about it, because I do really think about it. Be like, can you separate the fact that it's just work? She's going to work and she's having sex and doing like a DP situation, you know, and then she's coming back home and you got, hey baby, I made you lunch. I got wine for you. Like, does she feel like having sex with you after she got DP'd at work? Probably not, you know, but you got to be pretty secure. And it's really, it's just sex. I mean, if you look at it like this, I heard this one before. I was talking to on my old radio show, I was talking to a adult film star, and she talks about, she has her husband, and then she goes to work as an adult film star. And she basically said it's like masturbating. So they look at it like masturbating is having sex with somebody else. It's just merely a sex toy. You don't see the emotion in the other person, which could also be a cop out. A lot of times I bet you that's bullshit. Maybe, I'm telling you, I bet you that happens a lot, where I'd love to know how many, say, 3 ways that happen, whether it's 2 girls and a guy, 2 guys and a girl, which one ended up taking off with the girl that they had the 3-way with, or do they fantasize about that other girl? I think I'll keep this conversation to 1 guy, 2 girls. So, I bet you that happens. He'll start to fantasize about that new girl, and he's like, shit, I can't get over it. I can't get over doing it. So I really believe these 3-ways, although they sound fun, it's also, in my experience, they're not as fun as it cracked up to be. I'm over it. I'm over the 3-ways. It's too much. It's too much. It's not even the act. It's like post-act, where you're like, all right, I've had enough. I've had enough of both of you. If I can get rid of both of you, that'd be awesome. It's like, look, unless, I'm a fan of the late great comedian Patrice O'Neal, and he would talk about that a lot. He would talk about that, having 3-ways with him and his girl, and that was what they do. But they had a set of rules. They had a set of rules, and he would just go. And the good thing is that he can he said he would get his rocks off, and then he would just go hang. He'd go out, watch TV while they finish up together. That's kind of cool. You almost got a little tag team there. You got you got a little partner to go, all right, you guys finish up. I'm going to go watch Family Guy. I'm going to go watch The Sopranos on HBO and let you guys finish up. I go, while you guys finish up, I'm going to go take the dogs for a walk so I can get that done so I can go to bed on time. So it's definitely interesting. But yeah, man, like swinger clubs, like where are they? Are they still kicking? I don't know. I would imagine the pandemic did something to the swinger club world, or they just said, fuck it. Let's keep it way underground now. I imagine these underground swinger clubs. It's interesting because it's like, and what listening to some of Patrice O'Neal's stories is that a lot of times they'd hook up with this couple in some of these swinger clubs, and the other guy doesn't know how to treat his girl right. You know what I mean? The other guy is being a little rough with her or doing a bunch of stuff she doesn't like, and he's got to kind of step in, and it makes things awkward. He's like, hey, she doesn't like that, man. She's not digging it. Or they try to like one up each other. Like here's a great example. Long time ago, maybe about, we'll say 20, maybe almost 18 years ago, I was on the road with one of my bands, and my buddy, the drummer, they ended up, we were with some dudes, and they wanted to swap. So this guy and a couple wanted to swap with my drummer. My drummer hooked up with another young lady at the show, and they end up going back. In fact, we all went back because we were staying at this place, and the 2 couples went in there and swapped. Now the couple that was from the area, originally it was their idea. Now, my drummer's a freak. My drummer back then was a freak, and he put it on. He turned it up for that session, and made the guy of the girl kind of pissed off because he was like, like she's never screamed like that before. She was enjoying it, and he was done. And my drummer was just still going to town. And we were sitting out there watching TV, getting ready to go to sleep because this was after the show. And he walked out in the living room, was pissed. He was mad. I think he thought they'd have a fun little romp, not this aggressive session. And he wants to be super cool and everything, but he was not happy about it. But it was his idea. It was your idea. You know what I mean? So you, quote unquote, you made your bed. Now let your girlfriend sleep in it with another guy. Now, ultimately, that relationship didn't work. Obviously. Not because of that, I don't think. Probably because of many other times, because that was their deal. They love to do that. But sometimes you'll get the wrong dude that just puts it on your girl, and you're not happy with it. And she may love it, so you don't want to you don't want to break up the ecstasy session, but it just went down that way. You got to be careful. You got to be careful with that stuff, man. And it's like in my experience and other people's experience and everything, it never turns out well. Never, ever, ever. Now, I know there are a lot of couples that say we're in the lifestyle. That's how they say it. And that's a swinger lifestyle. Not necessarily three ways, but swingers. And they're incredibly secure. It's the best way I can put it. They're incredibly secure, and they enjoy it. And why not? It sounds awesome. In theory. Sounds awesome. Not for me, but it sounds pretty awesome. And why not? Like, it keeps things spicy. But I bet behind closed doors they're arguing. They have problems with it sometimes. I bet you. But I have no proof of that. Because what's on the surface is if you're quote unquote in the lifestyle and you this is how you roll, but you're starting to have trouble with it and the other partner isn't. The other partner's like, this is so much fun. I love swinging. I love doing all this. And one partner's going, yeah, I'm over it. Well, that's a problem. You're going to have some major problems. So I'd love to speak to somebody that is in the lifestyle and really get down and dirty with the pros and cons of everything, and how they navigate through all that stuff. Like, they got to navigate through a stranger. But here's what I understand, though. It's a whole setup. They'll go out to dinner. They make sure they like the other couple. There's no just random person they bring back for the most part. So they make sure they're incredibly secure and comfortable with the other couple. And they go back and they have drinks. They get a little loose. And they do their thing. Now, what happens if, one person can't perform and the other one can? Like, let's be honest. I'm not happy if there's another dude in the room. I'm not happy about that. That's not how I roll. It's all good. Little double teams, trains, whatever, however you want to roll. But, nowadays at my age, if there's another dude in the room, hey, get the fuck out of here. Get out of here. I don't want to see your junk. I don't want to see it. It's not going to help my sexual arousal by seeing another guy. Not me. But it's all good, though. People don't talk about it as much. It almost seems, in my opinion, more taboo now than it did 10, 15 years ago. Why is that? I don't know. Things definitely seem like they're getting a little more prudish. Things are getting a little more square again. And maybe what happens is that when things start to get a little more loose and people are liberal with things And it starts to not be so taboo. And I think you need it to be taboo for it to be exciting. Because if it's not taboo, then I really believe that people start to lose the excitement of it all. But I believe the three ways and the swingers and all that stuff, I believe that'll always be kind of taboo, I think. But it does seem to be a little bit more like I just don't see it as much anymore. And who knows? Maybe it's because me, but it used to be brought up often. Look, I had a buddy, and I'm not even kidding. He offered his wife to me one time, and I was incredibly awkward about it. I was like, ah, like we were just boozing, me, him, and his wife, and we were just hanging out, and he offered her up, and it's almost like I'm going to be honest about what went through my head. I was like, are you going to be in the room, man? Because if you're going to be in the room, I want no part of that. But if you're just going to give me your wife, cool, fuck it, let's do it. I'm a single guy. Why not? But especially as an older guy now, when I say older, not that much older, but I am older from then, and I would definitely say, nah, I'm good, because I know the repercussions are never really pretty good. It's never a happy moment after you've had sex with your buddy's wife on purpose, or on his idea. It's weird. That's always a weird one. If you're out there and one of your buddies is like, hey, why don't you go ahead and give my wife a throw? And you'd be like, what'd you say? A throw? I mean, go have sex with your wife? I'm going to give you some advice, guys. Go ahead and pass on that. Now, if you don't give a fuck about this guy, fuck it. Go ahead, do your thing. But like, if you do like him and he's your buddy, go ahead and pass on that. Go ahead and pass, because a lot of times that's just a phase. That's just a phase they're having, and he's going to regret that. So, yeah, these are always interesting conversations, I think. The three-way situation, the swap situation, the offering your significant other up to somebody else situations. Those are always very interesting to me. Like, it's a weird mentality. Well, actually, it isn't weird, but I think it is. You know what I mean? It's like, why do I think it's weird? Like, fuck it. It's not a big deal. It's just sex, just like the other person is basically a toy. And you look at it as such. So you don't get emotionally attached, although I bet people do. I bet they do. So here's my closing advice would be, if you really like your significant other, then don't do it. If you don't give a shit, go ahead and do it. Fuck it. It doesn't hurt to get that experience in your life. It's a good experience to get if you've never done it before. But especially if you're married, not a good idea, I don't think. I think it causes some underlining problems there. But all right, you guys, I'm going to get out of here. Cheers.